Yo, this is Raw-N-Undisputed. I'm your host, Raw, and this is a Raw reaction. Like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification button. And let's get into what we're going into today. I ran across something that said that these people was basically high money, and they got the leak on it. So I don't know what it is. They say they exposed their papers of all the rich and powerful people, even the politicians and stuff like that be stealing money or be hiding money or whatever the case may be. They got the papers. So I want to watch this and try to get an insight of what's really going on. So this is the Pandora papers expose secret financial dealings of global politicians and ultra rich. Shout out to CBSN for the video, and let's get into it.
A massive document leak is revealing the secret financial dealings of some of the world's richest people and most powerful leaders. The so-called Pandora papers detail the, quote, opaque financial universe where global elite shield riches from taxes, probes, and accountability. The Washington Post has joined more than 140 other news organizations to publish and analyze the trove of files. The documents were first obtained by the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists. They include...
All right. So, as y'all just heard, these are the rich and powerful. These are the people that's politicians and the multimillionaires and billionaires. You know, they say they got into their offshore accounts. So, they say the Pandora Papers is an investigation based on more than 11.9 million documents revealing the flows of money, property, and other assets concealed in the offshore financial systems. You know, so at the end of the day, they revealing what's going on in these offshore accounts and what's really like hiding. Like, people don't understand that they be hiding a lot of things, y'all. Hiding is like America's #1 thing, hide. You know, so I want to get back into it and see what's going on, y'all.
Nearly 12 million financial records related to more than 29,000 offshore accounts. Debbie Sensiper joins us now from Washington. She's a Pulitzer Prize-winning investigative reporter for the Washington Post. She's also the director of investigative reporting at Northwestern University's Medill School of Journalism. Debbie, great to see you. A lot to get to, but first, the Pandora Papers investigation looked at 14 cases involving current country leaders. What were some of the more significant revelations?
Sure. Thanks for asking, and thanks for having me. The Pandora Papers is what, based on secret financial records from 14 offshore providers around the world. And it exposed
14
some
offshore providers, 14
offshore accounts.
20,000
people all over
different
the world,
accounts.
The global elite, millionaires and billionaires. And included in that were more than 300 public officials from 90 countries.
Man, millionaires, billionaires, and stuff like that. This is crazy, man. This is crazy. No, I want them papers, man. Comment if y'all know how to get them papers. Let me know so we can be able to do a couple shows on that. Man, I swear I do about 10, 15 episodes straight, man, of those. Real junk. Like I said, at the end of the day, it's crazy that these people are hiding things, putting stuff up in offshore accounts, trying to stay away from taxes, tax breaks like that. But it's more to this. People don't understand. When you hide stuff, it's more into it. So trust and believe it's going to get real messy real quick. I don't know how messy it's going to be. So at the end of the day, we're going to find out. Hopefully that we can be able to get it and we can be able to, find out what's really, really going on.
Trees and territories, and that includes a number of high-profile people, as the Washington Post reported today.
$106 million spent.
We had a story on the King of Jordan. We had a story today on a woman who reportedly had a child with Vladimir Putin. We found world leaders in Ecuador, the Dominican Republic, all over the world, whose names turned up as in the Pandora Papers leak.
Can you briefly explain how the offshore financial system works and why it's connected to criminal activity?
Sure. I mean, people legally move money offshore to manage wealth. There's nothing wrong with doing that per se.
That's understandable.
But unfortunately, a lot of people move money offshore to conceal their wealth from tax authorities, from criminal investigators, from
billions hidden beyond reach. Trove of secret files detail the financial universe where global elites shield riches from taxes, probes, and accountability. So at the end of the day, like I said, these people hide stuff. They hide stuff. They got stuff to hide. People don't understand these industries. It's drug industry. It's human trafficking industry. It's organ donor, the organ transplant industry, stuff like that, man. A lot of these people be playing big parts in that, especially the politicians and stuff like that, because they got all access to, bigger files that, big, large files where they can be able to get whole families' information and stuff like that. They can be able to know what's really going on with different families and different situations and stuff like that. They can be able to do all type of crazy stuff, man. So at the end of the day, this junk is wrong, man. This offshore account stuff should be banned. I feel like it should be banned. Period. Any country, it should be banned. Offshore accounts should be banned. Everything should be able to be known to a public banking system. Not to say like you got to know exactly what's going on in their stuff, but if something pop up like a human trafficking thing or like a drug trafficking thing, they should be able to ping to it, like just like that. It shouldn't be no point where it's an offshore account. It took us 5-10 years to be able to find it. At the end of the day, no, that's not right. They should be able to hit it right then and there.
Legitimate creditors and victims that they've hurt through their business dealings or other activities. And so this offshore world is a very secret world. There's very little transparency. And that's what makes it so dangerous, because people who do bad things, ranging from arms trafficking to drug trafficking to running companies accused of labor and
no, they missing something. They missing a couple things. See, this the thing I don't like about how the news try to overplay for the underplay things. They just talk about some drug trafficking, ransom attacks, and arms dealings and other crimes. They want to say other crimes. They don't want to say the real true thing, especially in America. This is about these missing kids and these missing women and stuff coming up. Human trafficking, sex trafficking. That is a huge thing. And I know 9 times out of 10, most of these offshore accounts got something dealing with that. So like I said, I hope somebody can be able to give me those papers, man. I'm going to be looking into it for the next couple days. That's what my mindset is on, to look for these papers and find out what's really going on, so I can be able to speak on it. Because at the end of the day, we need to know things like this, man. It's people coming up missing. It's people that come up with no organs in their body and stuff like that, man. It's not right. And this is the main cause and source. They can hide their money. They can go sneak. Oh yeah, bro, I need you to do this, such and such, such and such. I'm gonna drop it in this account. No, that need to be canceled. We need to have full global amounts to the FBI, to the CIA, whatever the case may be. Need to have full amounts to everybody offshore accounts. Period. If it's an offshore account, even if it's putting money up, that shouldn't matter. But if it got something to do with hurting somebody or harming something, or doing things up under the table where it could potentially cause a huge issue, they need to be able to reveal it.
Human rights violations, people who are accused of corruption, etc., can move their assets offshore and hide it from their government, from their victims, and from other people. And that is a very scary thing to prosecutors and investigators here in the U.S. who want to try to find that money.
Yeah, definitely frightening. In what ways is the United States implicated in this investigation?
So for years, the United States government has been very out front on an international stage condemning the traditional offshore tax havens, the places that we would all think about, islands in the Caribbean or Switzerland.
So whole time she's saying like America, we ain't for it. America is not for offshore accounts and stuff like that. They be trying to crack down on this stuff like that. But honestly, I feel like they capping. I feel like it's way more to that. I bet 9 times out of 10, we got some offshore accounts here in America. I bet. I don't put it past us.
Switzerland or other places, and really calling for tighter rules, more transparency, know your customers, do your due diligence. And what this investigation found, and what we'll be detailing in the next few days in the Washington Post and on ICIJ's website, is that there are states here in the U.S. that have become go-to destinations.
What I tell you? I knew it. Hey, look, one thing about America, they ain't slick. Trust and believe. I knew something was going on, and I bet we have some offshore accounts in America. And yes, we do. It says some American states have become central to the global offshore systems. The U.S. government has condemned prominent offshore financial centers, and promises of discretion have long drawn from the business tycoons and the politicians. Listen, at the end of the day, like I told y'all, I knew it. I wonder what states, comment what states y'all feel like we have offshore accounts.
Destinations for foreign wealth. Places that you would never expect, like South Dakota or Alaska.
Ooh,
they've really
become Kansas too.
International leaders. They've been soliciting offshore wealth for years through very friendly liberal laws, and they have provided near absolute secrecy to their clients.
Sickening.
And one of the findings of this investigation is that a number of people who have been accused, either individually or through their companies, of wrongdoing, ranging from corruption to human rights abuses, have concealed their assets here in the United States. So there really is no more offshore. It really is onshore.
It's onshore.
What do the Post and the international consortium of investigative journalists hope will come from publishing reports like the Pandora papers?
Facts. What y'all think?
You know, if there's one thing I learned from doing this reporting, and if there's one takeaway here, it's that this is a very secretive world. There is very little transparency, and that is a dangerous thing.
Super dangerous. You never know what's going on.
If we can't track money used by criminals, it can lead to a lot of bad things, as we know in the United States. And so after 9/11,
key word, y'all. When I first cut this video on, she said the rich and powerful, the politicians, the elites, and then she just said criminals. I'm gonna go back. She just said criminals. So who the real criminals, y'all? Real junk. Who is the real criminals?
If we can't track money used by criminals.
It
can lead to
criminals.
A lot of bad things, as we know in the United States. And so after 9/11, the federal government really did a lot to shore up the due diligence requirements of banks. Not a lot of attention has been placed on other industries like the trust industry here in the U.S., which we're writing about in tomorrow's paper. And so there are things that can be done through laws and regulations that can kind of close the gaps here and make this world of offshore financing a little bit more transparent and a little bit safer.
A lot of fascinating reporting that we'll be watching for sure for days to come.
Yes,
Debbie
I will.
Sensiber, thank you.
Thank her. Thank them. Thank CBSN. Thank y'all so much for not even exposure, but for giving us this type of ear to be able to understand, like, it's things that's going on that, like they said, ain't even accounted for, but it's going to be accounted for real soon. Real soon, because I know they're going to be exposing some people. So they might hide all the political people paperwork, but they put out the drug dealers and all that stuff, the criminals. But who the real criminals, y'all? To me, I feel like the real criminals is the United States government. People that's been putting their money into these offshore accounts, hiding money from tax evasions and stuff like that. They need to be put on blast. They need to be put out here, and they need to be exposed, no matter what. Because at the end of the day, we work for what we work for, and we pay our taxes each and every year. And these people hide money so they won't pay taxes, or they putting their money into certain things that could harm people in the long run. And like I said, she didn't speak on sex trafficking. She didn't speak on human trafficking. She didn't speak on anything like that. She said the arms trafficking and the drug trafficking and all that, but it's more to it. Organ trafficking and all that. They didn't speak on that. And trust and believe, 9 times out of 10, that will be in here. You know, so like I said, I'm gonna be keeping up on this, y'all. I'm gonna be keeping y'all more updated as much as possible when it comes to the Pandora papers. This probably is gonna be one of the things that I'll be doing a lot on. So like, comment, and subscribe. This is Raw-N-Undisputed. I'm your host, Raw. This was a Raw reaction, and I'm out.